Yeah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. A warm greeting to each and every one of you. Welcome to our online workshop on leveraging AI tools for research. This event is co-hosted by Faculty of Engineering, Universitas Diponegoro, and School of Business and Management, Institut Teknologi Bandung, and supported by SciSpace. I am Liz Jawati. I'm the MC of today's event. On behalf of the committee, we would like to extend our appreciation for your presence today. We would like also express our gratitude to Professor Dr. Natek Siswo Sumardiono, STMT, the Vice Dean of Academic Affairs, Faculty of Engineering, Universitas Diponegoro, Ibu Ati Aprianingsih, STMM DBA, Director of Research and Knowledge Unit, School of Business and Management, Institut Teknologi Bandung, Mr. Harsh Fitra from SciSpace, the Technical Product Manager, and then Mr. Rohan, SciSpace Research Scientist, and then Ms. Madel Sabat, the SciSpace Content Marketing Strategist. Last but not least, to all the participants who has joined this room. Without further ado, let's start our program by welcoming Professor Dr. Natek Siswo Sumardiono, STMT, the Vice Dean of Academic Affairs, Faculty of Engineering, Universitas Diponegoro, to deliver his welcoming speech.
Oke, terima kasih Mbak Lis. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Marilah kita panjatkan syukur kepada Allah SWT yang selalu melimpahkan rahmat, petunjuk dan hidayahnya pada pagi hari ini, sehingga kita semua diperjalankan dalam kondisi sehat walafiat dalam rangka mengawal berbagai inovasi dan kegiatan, sehingga nanti puncaknya achievement kita akan naik. The Honorable Miss Madarabat and also Mr. Rohan dan juga Ibu Ati ya, dari ITB, selamat pagi. Terima kasih atas rawuhnya di acara melalui secara daring melalui Zoom ini dalam rangka kegiatan leveraging AI tool ya untuk para mahasiswa dan juga umum. Jadi para mahasiswa dan juga Bapak Ibu yang saya hormati, bahwa acara hari ini dalam rangka untuk meningkatkan pemahaman bahwa transformasi digital, artificial intelligence dan juga berbagai hal saat ini sudah luar biasa berada di tengah-tengah kita. Sehingga hal-hal yang harus kita pahami melalui berbagai kegiatan ini semoga nanti bisa menjadi pedoman, menjadi acuan bagi kita, sehingga nanti di dalam menulis publikasi, baik itu di jurnal berputasi maupun menulis tesis ataupun disertasi, kita bisa mendapatkan kemudahan-kemudahan dengan berbagai tool yang ada, sehingga nanti daya ungkit kita akan semakin berputasi dan akan semakin mendapatkan rekognisi atau pengakuan baik pada level nasional maupun internasional. Sehingga pada pagi hari ini Fakultas Teknik Diponegoro bersama Institut Teknologi Bandung menyelenggarakan webinar yang nanti bisa memberikan materi yang luar biasa dari Miss Madalabat dan juga Mr. Rohan, sehingga nanti kita semua bisa mendapatkan hal-hal insight baru yang nanti sangat bermanfaat bagi kita semua. Selamat mengikuti webinar, semoga kita semua selalu mendapatkan petunjuk dan ridho Allah SWT dalam rangka mengawal cita-cita kita bersama. Terima kasih. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Matur suwun Prof. Siswa. And now we will invite Ibu Ati Aprianingsih, STMMDBA, Director of Research and Knowledge Unit, School of Business and Management, Institut Teknologi Bandung, to deliver her welcoming speech. Monggo, Bu Ati.
Thank you, Mbak Liz. Okay, good morning everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ati. I'm here at SPM, serve as Research and Knowledge Coordinator. As an introduction, Research and Knowledge Unit at SPM is built kind of nurture the research atmosphere at SPM, and we support the research conducted mostly by a faculty member actually. But during our in our regular activities, we also conduct this type of seminar to help both lecturer and as well as student to enhance their knowledge on research process or research tool that can make their research process easier. And as we know that when we are doing research, usually we have two approaches. First, by comparing the phenomena that we see, the problem that we see with the literature, or one other purposes is to provide theoretical contribution. So we need to see what the literature has been done and what has not been done. And our contribution usually rely more on what hasn't been done, what the thing that has not been done. And I think from those two perspectives, literature review has become the most crucial part in doing research. So, and as we know, like over time, there are many technologies that can help us or support us to do literature review easier. And I believe that from today's workshop, we can learn one of the many tools that is existing today to make our literature work easier. So without further ado, I welcome everyone in this workshop, and I also thank Mr. Fitra, Mr. Tondokar, and as well as Ms. Bat and our partner from Fakultas Engineering Faculty of Universitas Diponegoro that enable this workshop. So once again, thank you everyone for coming, and also for sparing the time to learn together about the tools that will be presented by our partner from SciSpace. Okay, so wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Bu Ati. Thank you, Bu Ati. Next, we will have a photo session. We will have several minutes to take pictures as a documentation. So please give your best smile so I can take your pictures. You might turn your camera on so we can see your faces. Great. This is the first shot. The second shot. The third shot. And the last one. Okay, thank you everyone. Now let's move to our main agenda, but before that, please allow me to share the house rules. First, please keep your microphone muted when you are not speaking to minimize background noise. And then if you have questions or comments, use the chat function using the following format: name _ affiliation _ question, or you may use the virtual raise hand feature to be recognized. And information regarding participants' attendance form will be shared through the chat. And now, please allow me to introduce our moderator, Ms. Faridatus Saida. She is a master's degree, a master graduate in science and management. She has profound enthusiasm for research and data analysis. Her specific interests revolve around operations, halal industry, and sustainable tourism. She is one of the members of the teams at the Research and Knowledge Unit. She is responsible for assisting journal management at SPM ITB. And now I will turn over the floor to Ms. Saida.
Thank you, Mrs. Liz. Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's highly anticipated online workshop on the leveraging AI tools for research. I'm Farida, the moderator of this event, and I'm delighted to be your guide through this journey. Once again, welcome to our speakers. Today, they are authorities in their respective fields. They are from SciSpace, which was previously better known as types.io. They are Mr. Harsh Fitra, Mr. Rohan Tendulkar, and Ms. Madal Sabat. So as we progress through this event, we will uncover the potential of AI-driven tools, especially for understanding research paper and tackling complex research questions, for example. And the synergy between human ingenuity and machine learning is nothing short extraordinary, and it's redefining boundaries of what's possible in the research. So before we proceed, I'm honored to introduce our distinguished speakers who will be sharing their expertise and insight on this dynamic topic. Our first speaker is Mr. Harsh Fitra, the technical product manager at SciSpace, focusing on improving the discovery process of the research. In the past, Mr. Harsh has worked on building technology for social good. He worked with Plan for the Planet to build product which can help improving funding for tree planting and monitoring growth of trees. And Mr. Rohan Tendulkar is leading in the research team at SciSpace, which focuses on using cutting-edge AI to create value for researchers. Mr. Rohan also has strong background in NLP research from IT Hyderabad and published multiple papers. He also worked at reputed firm like JP Morgan Chase. And we have also Ms. Bat. She's a content creator in SciSpace. Now I will welcome the SciSpace team to present and share the product of SciSpace and how to leveraging AI tools for research. Please, Mr. Rohan and Mr. Harsh.
Sure.
Harsh, or Rohan, could you please share the screen?
Sure, you may share screen.
No, I'll share the screen. Yeah, Madal, so you can start.
Hi and good morning, everyone. Thanks for having us here in this online workshop, and thanks for inviting us. So I'm Madalsa, working as a content marketing specialist at SciSpace. I hope you all will have a good time learning about our SciSpace and, enjoying this session, I hope. Hi guys, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So moving on, I would like you guys to, introduce you to SciSpace. So SciSpace, I say, is the easiest way to find, analyze, or write any research paper. So for every paper you read, you get simple explanations and answers from AI and discover a network of connected and relevant papers. And this is all being done at one place. So our motto, do hours of research in minutes, it is perfectly encapsulating our mission. So we aim to make scientific interactions quicker, more accessible, and for sure, undoubtedly more efficient. So moving on to the next slide, let's talk about the challenges. Yeah. So let's talk about some challenges we all face in the world of scientific literature right now. So firstly, we are seeing an incredible rate of growth in scientific articles. a lot of research papers, theses are being churned out every single day. And this means that staying updated or finding that one specific article has become increasingly challenging. Moving on to the second challenge, then there's this issue of understanding these papers. You found that one paper and now you got to read it. So the heavy jargon and the intricate language, can be quite a barrier, especially if you are reading a paper that is slightly different from your field. And, I don't know about you guys, if you guys have done this, but how many times I have paused reading just to look up a word, a particular word, what it means. So I always go on Googling about them. Third, it would be sifting and diving deep into each research paper. Reading every page carefully is like a tedious and time consuming task. It would take you weeks to months to go through research papers while you could be doing so much more, while you could be, concentrating on other tasks. And additionally, there is also this hurdle experience that is citing. Some of us have been there skimming through the countless pages. We are trying to figure out the relevant information to cite. And then meticulously, we are formatting it according to different citation styles and then academic standards. So it is all a complex process within, right? It can be tricky. We get one citation out and then we are done for. Like if we get one citation wrong, our research paper is done for, right? So these issues can slow our research down significantly. So moving on to the third slide, transitioning from these challenges, let's shift to how SciSpace acts as a perfect solution here. Yeah. So with SciSpace, now you no longer have to search for multiple platforms and databases. We bring it all to your fingertips. You get the convenience of finding millions of papers with a few clicks. So research is also personal. We all know that. And we all have our collection of important papers, foundational text, or there are must reads that we need to read for future reference. So here, SciSpace gives you a personal space to manage and organize these collections seamlessly. Moreover, if you want a specific piece of information from a paper, SciSpace does that for you. We call it like having your personal assistant that reads and summarizes on your command. And going beyond the abstract and conclusion, just reading that while opening the research paper, with SciSpace, you can dive deeper into the research paper without opening it. You can ask it questions, get insights from any section of the paper. And it's like having a chat or a conversation with your research. And then icing on the cake would be our advanced AI system that allows you to access SciSpace functionalities anywhere on the web. So while you're reading an article or a forum discussion online, SciSpace is right there with you and ready to assist you with the reading through that forum discussion or be it an article. And additionally, SciSpace has also simplified the citation process, whether it's web pages, journal articles, books, or book chapters. You can generate your citations in seconds while following all the academic standards. So now this was the introduction about SciSpace. So we'll dive deeper into working of the platform, and Harsh and Rohan will walk you guys through them one by one. Please, Rohan, go ahead and take the stage. Thanks.
Sure. Madalsa, thank you for the introduction. So, hey guys, welcome from my side too. Very excited to show you a platform. Just a second. Okay, so we'll go through the website demo. We have a plethora of tools, so be patient with us. We'll try to cover everything and as smoothly as possible. So with the name SciSpace, usually people start searching SciSpace, they reach scispace.com. This is our current brand name, though our current website is usually still typeset.io due to some past tools. So once you click here, you'll be redirected to typeset.io. That is where you'll find our current tool, right? Now, there's a lot to see here. One thing that Nadalsa pointed out is 2 hours of reading in minutes, right? Also, you will see some questions here. You'll see a search box. There are some testimonials and some of the features. There will be some popular papers to read across various domains, and some again some media coverage. On the left side, you'll see all the tools that we support. We have a literature review, we have Copilot, we have citation generator, paraphraser, AI detector, Chrome extension, and this is our Discord channel that we encourage everyone to join so they can quickly post any issues they face and they can be resolved, right? So what we'll start with is Copilot uh, first. So Copilot basically, it says it's a assistant to help reading research papers. Now, the advantage is you can uh, upload your own papers and read it, whereas you can also read an existing paper that's hosted by SciSpace, right? So you can obviously search your research paper. So we can, to start with, we can pick one of the research papers mentioned here. Now, this one is the most popular paper in the ML domain, which has transformed the domain a lot. So attention is all you need. This paper by Google, right? So here you'll see you have the author details, the conference in which it got published, the key LDR, the abstract. You have some questions that we are suggesting to ask. You have the PDF below, right? On the right side, you have options like Ask Copilot, which will open the Copilot, will take you there. Related papers. So once you click on related papers, it will open the related papers for you, the authors, institutions, and related topics. Now, this is one of the features we'd like to point out is what we call is trace. So trace basically helps to, quickly go through a chain of research related stuff. Let's say I pick this paper, it again opens that paper. Then let's say I'm interested in one of the authors there and want to see the papers by that author. So I can go here. Now I'll get all the papers by that author. Now let's say I'll go to all the papers. Then let's say one of the other papers that I'm interested in is, let's say, mass RNN. And I can keep on going for this infinitely. I can again come back and maybe select another paper, or let's say I can come back and select another author from Google, let's say. So this, and then the cycle again starts. So this is what we call the trace feature, which is very valuable because usually what happens, be it Google search or any other, we keep on clicking links, we go to the end and then coming back to a midpoint or wherever we started becomes difficult. So we provide that feature so that you can easily trace through research papers. Right, now ask Copilot, right? So Copilot, if you click on this, it will open a window on the right side. It's more like a chat box. You'll see some suggested questions. If you open this, you'll have what we call a set of onboarding questions, which usually are more commonly, required by users. So the flow is when I open a new research paper, I want to quickly understand maybe the results, the methods, the contributions, the limitations, all those things I want to quickly understand before I actually dive deep into the paper. So that's the thought process behind it. You can also click those from here. So here you have PDF. You can go into a full screen mode, right? Now let's say I want to start with the contributions, like what is this paper contributing about? Click on that question and you'll quickly get the contributions of the papers, right? This paper proposes a novel network architecture called transformer. Then it also talks a bit about the results, right? And the interesting thing is it also gives a citation. So in citation, it like sometimes, so contributions sometimes are mentioned in the abstract. It also gives these 2 sentences that it has picked from this paper that will help you, tie down the citations. We'll go more in detail in citations later. But the reason to provide citations is AI models are known to hallucinate a lot. They try to give answers from their own knowledge. They try to give something irrelevant. So that's why we provide citations so that the answers can be verified. And as a user, you know that the answer has come from a trusted source, right? Okay. Another thing is, let's say I want this abstract. Many times people write in a compressed and very what do you call, in a very technical language to sometimes ensure that it comes in, let's say, 150 words, and sometimes it's not easy to understand. So let's say I want to understand this statement. Now I have an option of summarize, explain text, related papers. So I can click on explain text to understand this statement, and quickly I'll get an explanation for the statement, right? Now, look at how detailed the explanation is. So this mentioned that the model achieves 28.4 BLUE score on the WMT dataset. So it starts with explaining what is BLUE. It's a metric to evaluate machine translation output. What is WMT dataset? And then it explains the actual output, right? Uh, Again, it explains the significance. So now this, if someone is reading, he has a clear understanding of all the factors involved. So this is the explanation feature. Now, many times there are big sections and I don't want to, read through them all. I mean, so if you are a novice researcher, you want to get more explanations. But if you are an expert researcher, you want to summarize more so that you can go through the research paper faster, right? Let's say now this background section, I don't want to spend time reading about, and I just want to summarize it. So in this case, I just get a 3-line output for this whole paragraph. It combines all the information here and it gives me a summarized output. So now once I read this, I know what is covered in this section, right? So that's the summary feature. Now, if you look at the top, there is something called as explain math and table. So it says select and drag the cursor over an area containing, let's say, formulas, equations, or tables. So let's try that. That is a very valuable feature, especially in a bit more mathematical paper. So let's try to find the math equation in this paper, right? So here we have an equation. So if I click on this, it opens up like a selection tool and I can highlight this area. Now, because if someone doesn't understand this equation, they can do this, right? So here you see equation and this is the mathematical explanation. Now the explanation is very elaborate because it splits the equation into multiple parts, right? So first it gives a summary. It's an equation for attention mechanism, which is a key component of sequence transduction models. Then it says it allows to focus on specific parts. It says equation takes 3 inputs, which is the Q, K, V, what does it represent? It also telling that. Then it's talking about the softmax function. Then it's talking about the inputs to the softmax function. And in detail, it is explaining the equation, right? So that's a very valuable thing. Now, this is, to be honest, a simpler equation. You might go ahead with trying a more complex equation, let's say. Yeah. So here now this is a more complex equation which has QKV input. So the start part remains the same, but it talks about the multi-head attention, which is what the equation is about. It talks about all the inputs here. Then it explains what is happening. It computes a weighted sum of values. And that's pretty good output, for someone. So rather than trying to myself figure out the equation, sometimes when I want to quickly go through new research papers, this is very valuable. The other thing it also mentioned is explain math and table. So we can maybe go and try to see if it can explain me this table. I'll just check the chat messages if there's some question. Sorry, I do not understand that. Anyways, okay. So this table now it's explaining, right? So it's giving insights from the table. This table compares different layer types, which it does, like self-attention layer, recurrent layer, convolution layer. Then it says a bit about, so it's basically it's explaining what are the columns, what are the inputs in this table. Then it's talking about the actual contents of the table. So let's say self-attention has O1 complexity. recurrent layers above of n. So it's explaining that, and it's also giving some conclusion. Basically, O of one is faster than the other. So it's saying self-attention layers are faster than recurrent layers. It's also saying other insights, let's say convolution layers have a logarithmic path length. So it's giving insights from the table, right? So that's very valuable. So that's how we want usually, researchers to go through it. Start with maybe some onboarding questions to get a flow of the paper. Then you can also ask your own questions. Let's say, my question is, what is self-attention? Right, so give a very detailed answer with again citations. You have option to see sources here. So it's giving the points from where it actually got the answer. And you get a very detailed answer, right? You also can ask for related papers. Now, I read this paper, I got an idea now and find similar papers for this paper. And you'll get a list of top 5 papers that are similar to this. Now, this paper actually uses attention for machine translation tasks, as in language translation. So you get some of the papers of language translation, you get sequence to sequence learning, easy hard attention, and so on, right? Again, now let's say I'm going through the paper. I like a concept from this paper. Let's say there is a dropout concept in this paper at the later parts, right? Or let's say we can pick the optimizer. So since I am from machine learning domain, I am taking a machine learning paper, but again, same things applies to all your concepts. Now I like the Adam optimizer concept and I want more papers regarding the Adam optimizer, right? So again, I just searched, I got the Adam optimizer original paper. I got more hybrid genetic Adam optimizers, some improvement on Adam optimizer. So I got more relevant papers that I can follow, right? So related papers is an interesting concept. Another thing now, we have an option of notes and highlights. So we'll explain that also. So let's say this is an important part, right? That the dataset consists of 4.5 million sentence pairs. I want to highlight this. Again, it's saying sign up to do highlights. So what we'll do is uh, we'll take that features once we sign up. We'll take some more interesting features and then we'll try to upload our own paper to test this out. So one interesting thing is, let's say, Indonesian language. So we get outputs in any language. The inputs can also be in any language. So I don't have an Indonesian input, but let's say now we want to summarize the introduction of this paper, and I've selected Indonesian language. And the output is in Indonesian language. So I can't read this, but I can give you half a minute to take a look at this and see if it's good quality output. So I'm assuming it looks decent. Again, the citations are still included from where it's coming. So so we want AI and research both to be accessible in all parts of the world, irrespective of their language, restrictions. And so we support 3 types of, language conversations, let's say. So the output can be in Indonesian, like you saw. The input can be in Indonesian language as well, right? So maybe if I try this as input, and actually you can even open a paper in a regional language and read it, right? So, okay, I still got the answer. You can open a paper. So the paper can be regional, the question can be regional, and the answer can be regional. So we want to support all regional languages. We support currently around 75 plus languages here from all parts of the world. If there is any more requirement, we try to support that as well. All right, so this is the initial demo. You can access the snip tool from here. Yeah, another interesting feature is, uh, I let's say we had the insights right here. Now here, I did not understand what do convolution layers mean, so I can ask a follow-up question. So the follow-up question would be, what are convolution layers? So I can keep asking follow-up questions to get, okay, now the language is Indonesian, so it gave the answer in Indonesian. I'm hoping it's right. Let me just change it to English for current demo purposes. So you can ask follow-up questions. We'll go to the notes and stuff. So yeah, you have option to copy. If you like an answer, you can certainly share it. So the sharing will basically open another link where you get kind of an image and which you can share on Twitter, or you can copy this link and share on any other platform, right? So we encourage doing that so that more people understand. So you get like 2-3 answers here, question answers that you can share. So more sharing means more people can leverage the tool. Okay, so like I mentioned in before, we can also upload our own paper. So if you go to Copilot with AI, you have the option to log in and sign up. We highly recommend doing that because that will ensure your data is safe. So I have already uploaded a lot of papers, but let's maybe start with uploading from here. Harsh can cover a lot of the login and stuff later. So, okay, I'm uploading this paper called Named Entity Recognition for Astronomy Literature. Right, so it's uploading the PDF. And here we are, right? Now we have this PDF here that I uploaded. We have the Copilot as always on the right side. Right. And interesting thing, once you upload your own paper, you get some specific questions that are custom to the research paper, right? So these are generated by another AI model. So let's say I select how was the raw corpus collected? Because this obviously uses some data set to answer the questions. Yeah, certainly we can share the presentation. Right. So it answers the question raw corpus collected from, uh, from archive astrophysics section. It has total of 52,000 plus downloaded and all the details, right? And interesting thing, now when you upload your paper, you, along with the source, you have option to locate the paper. So if you see locate PDF, or you can directly click on this. Now this will basically take me to the collection of raw corpus section, if you look at it, right? You can also look at the sources. So here again, you will see the entire source that is used to answer this. Locate will take you this. So for any question, let's say we try what data has been used in this paper. I think it's a similar question. We can try something else. But again, so here again, you have various sources. Yeah, so it's picking up from some annotated corpus data, some parts from there. So this citations is a very powerful feature that we believe will help you actually finding where the answer came from within the paper, because it directly takes you to that part of the paper. Right, so there's another thing, if you see here, my questions, right? So these are generic questions, these are specific questions. Now my questions is basically AI model helping you frame new questions for this research paper. So if you click on brainstorm questions, AI model will suggest you questions based on this research papers, right? So what are the size of the corpus? How many entity types were manually annotated? What approach was used? What is the F score? Again, now I can give some input. Let's say my input is, for example, NER for medical research. Right now, I want to brainstorm questions of this paper related to medical research. So we'll see if AI can do something like that. Yeah, since this is an astronomy paper, maybe a bit less on medical, but it still keeps on adding more questions that you can, that makes you think. The idea here is that you can brainstorm more questions. As a researcher, our, whole aim is to be able to brainstorm new concepts so that we can think more and innovate more, right? So we always try to, so for limitations, we also have a, so we have a question for limitations. So usually a lot of people come and ask limitations of the paper. If they're mentioned in the paper, we try to find that out. And that helps them to think in future, what can we do? So future works also helps them to understand what can be done further. Interesting features that we want to, again, let's say this answer you liked, right? Now, many things can be done here. You can save this answer as a note. Again, this takes sign up. So let's first quickly sign up here. So I'll log in using my login details. You can log in using Gmail too. Right. Now I can, the save and as note option is enabled for me. So I can save this answer as a note, right? So important answers, let's say I can save as note. Say PDF has been saved to library and the library collection, got it. So if you go to notes, I have my notes. Let's say if I find an interesting sentence, I'll just highlight one for the sake. I can highlight it, right? You can give another color, and you can add a note, information about dataset. So again, another note is saved here. So you have highlights and notes as well. All the features that we saw in the previous one are covered here as well. Right, you can share, you can follow up, you can save as note. The language option is also there. And yeah, related papers is also obviously there. Yeah, find related papers will give you more papers that are similar to this. And you can highlight any section and ask related papers to that. So right. So this was the demo of the Copilot tool. Okay. Just checking the chats in between in case anything important I've missed. Right. Let me switch to the another tool that we have. So yeah, next tool that we have is literature review. So I remember coming to a similar conference last year as well, I think. Or it was a slightly different conference. So we did cover some part of Copilot, but we have certainly added more features there, like the citation interlinking wasn't there back then. The answer quality has now drastically improved, right? So, but this tool, literature review, and a lot of the tools that will show up in next weren't even available at that time. So we'll go to literature review now. That is a very valuable tool for everyone. So we'll go to the home page. You'll always see this search bar there, right? So the aim of this literature review tool, like again, if you see, we have papers updated for October 2023, right? So all the latest papers are available to discover. So aim of this tool is enabling discovery, faster discovery, which means that you get relevant papers for your query, good relevant papers for your query, and you get latest papers for your query. You have a lot of tools that help you compare amongst the papers to quickly do a literature review, to quickly understand what's going on in your domain currently, right? So I have just added some queries from my domain. So what we can do is we can start with a query, right? So it once you type something, it will again give you some suggestions which you can use. What are the current approaches to question answering in scholarly documents, right? So that's a better formed query. You can select any of these. Let's click on this for now. Right. So already I have some results here. If you scroll, now here we have something called as insight from top 5 papers. Now this paragraph is more like a summary of the search results from the top 5 most relevant papers to the query, right? So this is a very valuable tool for even very expert researchers, because this helps them in keeping track of what's going on in their paper, and it's very fast, right? So first line is more like, what are the current approaches? It uses a retriever reader method, it is BERT-based system, it uses combination. So it's citing 3 papers for this approach. Then again, it goes more into the retriever reader method approach, which is also part of the 4th paper. Then there's BERT-based systems as a 5th paper, right? So this is a quick answer that someone can just copy and paste and use it somewhere. Let's say if you're doing a literature review of sorts. You have certain features here. You can also give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Yeah, that's something we can also do in for every answer in Copilot. You can give a thumbs up, thumbs down, so that we know what you like and we can improve on any negative feedback, right? In the bottom, you'll see all the papers, right? So these are very relevant papers, question answering. So that was the main question, right? Question answering in scholarly domain. Scholarly domain. So if you look at this, AI understands that scholarly domains means scientific documents. Scholarly domains means, scholarly. It also means research documents, right? So it also giving, yeah. So scholarly domain means research paper. So AI is able to uh, answer this better. We also try in the question. So sometimes some query taking can get you better results. Right. So yes, now each paper you see whether it's a book chapter or a journal or conference. You also see the authors. You see when it was published. You can have the DOI link. You have the option to bookmark. Now bookmark will basically save that paper in your library. Uh, you can cite this paper if you want. You can ask Copilot any question. Let me take this thing up. Yeah. So here you have a Copilot. We'll come to it. And you have an insight column, right? So insight tries to answer your question from each paper. So this is a Jarvis QA system. Again, a similar system. Then this uses a hybrid approach. This uses, POS tagging and naive bias. So different paper, different insights come. You have other columns, right? So you can, let's say, I want a TLDR for all these papers, so that I don't, don't go into reading the paper before I read the TLDR. So you have a lot of columns that you can add. Mainly, wherever you have full text, the answers will be even better. So that's why what you can do is you have a set of filters here, right? You have whether it contains a attached PDF, whether it's open access, whether what year you want. Let's say I want only papers from last 3 years. So I'll get results that are tuned, that are more recent. You can also have just last 1 year, right? So some of the older results are gone and newer results uh, come, right? So COVID-based result came up because it's a newer paper. You can select on open access and PDF. That means you will get papers where there is a PDF attached for certain, right? So that means the answers for these various columns are better. So let's say results. If you want to try to find results for each of this paper, you'll get some results, some benchmark results. This is short, but it will help you. What data was used, what result was used. You can add a custom column. Let's say I want. So outcomes measured is more for medical domain. I want data sets used in this paper, right? So it will add that column for me, right? So now I know this paper used archive and Wikipedia. This paper used some other data set. Sometimes if the information is not available, uh, this used Marco QA dataset. So that's great, right? I can quickly go through all the data sets used by various papers and pick maybe the one that interests me the most, or it will help me actually write the literature review section in a paper, right? I directly get 10 papers. I can write the literature review. So you can keep on adding any number of columns here. Uh, any more? Yeah. So you have publication type. I want to only go through proceedings, that's conference or journal or patents. That's also available. Interesting thing, you can download all these results in a CSV format. So you get the results and all the answers to your various columns as an output to your in a CSV, right? So that means you can share it across your colleagues or other researchers. So that basically helps collaboration. Let me just check if there's any question on the chat. Yeah, we can certainly consider that. So We yeah, currently we had limited 150 characters because sometimes people end up copy pasting a paragraph there, big paragraph, which is actually not a question. But certainly we can consider it to increase it to 200 characters. Thank you. Right, so this is coming up next. Actually, in next couple of weeks, we'll have a filter that will allow you to, filter by only top journals and top conferences. And the top journals all come only from they're when they're highly rated in Scopus and WOS. Okay. To know the latest topics from a particular journal. Yeah, so that also we are working on soon. Let's say filter by a specific journal. Yeah, that's a valuable feature. We'll work on that too. So currently we don't have a filter by specific journal ID, as in the journal name. That is something also we can good. Yeah, very valuable. Thank you. But certainly the top publications from Scopus and stuff that is coming up in next 1 or 2 weeks. Right. Yeah, so you can add columns. Interesting is, let's say 10 papers are not enough. You can click on show more papers. That will add 4 or 5 more papers. So you can keep on adding more papers right now, and you get all the answers to the columns here also. So someone is using Casper dataset, someone is using ELI5 dataset, and so on. Now, sometimes, many times what happens is you like one paper, you did not like the second paper, which is common because we try to give all the relevant results. Let's say I liked one of the paper, let's say neural QA is what I like. Now I want to remove these papers because I did not like them. And I can, sorry, there's a button there itself. I can remove this. And I can remove this. So I'm basically creating my own search result. And now let's, as discussed, I like this. So I can just say, give me similar papers to this one, ignoring rest of the others, right? So now at the bottom, we have added papers. So neural Q&A, we got tree Q&A, we got question answering of machine ready evaluation, we got top to paper. So now, again, neural question answering for academic search, which is again scholarly documents. So sometimes people like one field, one paper over the other. So now this actually, if I'm currently researching on this topic, these are like all the latest approaches that I've got. So I can maybe say thumbs up, I liked this. You have an option to write a feedback. And you can tell us how much you like what part you like, what you can improve, which is very valuable. So we are always looking at this, how can we make our product better? We are also looking at what you liked, because then we can enhance the experience there. For each column also, let's say this data set answer, you liked, you can say thumbs up. You did not like, you can say thumbs down. So we know, okay, either the information wasn't present or we can improve on the answers. So that feedback is very valuable. You can see what papers you remove. Now, so now when you update your results, your results get saved here. So once you're logged in, you can see your saved searches. Now, when I do multiple searches, I can come back to the saved search and continue from there, right? So I see a lot of messages inside. I'll come to it there. So again, we have a co-pilot here. Now the aim of this co-pilot is to get, let's say from this top 4 or 5 papers, get more deeper answers, right? So let's say any noted, novel methodologies, let's say. So it will try to give novel methodologies from all the papers, right? So the neural paper introduces this, the ambiguous question answer paper introduces this, semantic reader does this. So the co-pilot is mainly to actually get more depth for each of these papers. Again, you have this Ask Copilot button for any paper. Let's say if you select Ask Copilot, it will tell you now it's answering questions on this paper. You can ask any questions. Here also you have Ask a Follow-up. So that will open up the Copilot to answer questions from these 5 papers. Again, language options are there. That all is present. Saved searches, so you can select language in Indonesian and get even this and all the columns answered in Indonesian language. Right. Yeah. So another query we can try, this is more of a research question, but sometimes you can have queries where you want some opinion or you want to get more details. Let's say, what are the side effects of high sugar intake, right? So we'll see an insight. Again, we get a lot of papers here, similar stuff. So you get like what all this can cause, what all side effects it can cause. So there is obesity, metabolic and cardiovascular diseases, dental caries, and all sorts of stuff which we all know. Insights are also interesting, what all it can cause, right? Insulin resistance, diabetes, non-alcoholic fatty liver, so many things, right? So in the very diet conscious world, everyone is trying to reduce the sugar intake. Again, I can save this search manually. Now in my saved searches, I have two results, right? I can go to any of them anytime I need. Let's say I switch to my scholarly document results. I see it all here. I can continue from here. So we have a very feature rich stuff. Now I'd like to just go to my library once to show an interesting feature. Let's say this named entity paper that we had. So one feature, right? So this scope feature, right? So this is what we wanted to show. Now, when I select a scope, I have option to, not just get answers from this paper. I can get answers from all SciSpace papers, similar to the literature review, right? So now, whenever some answer is not coming from my paper, it will go to the 200 million corpus, try to find answers from there. So that's very valuable. Now I can get answers from my library also, right? So if you look, I have multiple collections. There's a prompt engineering collection, there's COVID-based collection, there's climate and dark matter collection. So Harsh will cover a lot of this. So I can basically select any collection or all the collections from which I want answers. So if you see now, you have selected 1 out of 6 collections. And when you ask a question, now it will search through that papers in your library as well. So the motivation behind this is when you upload similar papers or other papers from one topic in your library, we want to do question answering over that entire topic on entire library, right? So some citation might come from paper 1, some citation might come from paper 2. So that's the motivation. I hope I have not missed out on any. So you can always switch between tools. You can go to literature review tool. You can do a search. You can go to saved searches, continue on any of your searches, use Copilot. So everything will be saved once you log in. So I encourage logging using Google. That would be great. Let's go through some of the chat questions. Yeah, so is it similar to ResearchGate? Pretty much no. So ResearchGate doesn't do good at literature review. It doesn't do well at Copilot. So we believe we are much feature rich and better than Google Scholar. Yeah. So how can we connect Google Scholar? I think Harsh will cover that point. So we do have a Chrome plugin that will help you to connect with not just Google Scholar, to many other things. Scoping literature review. Maybe you can elaborate on. Yeah. So yeah, Meryl says Q&A is end of session, but yeah. So some session related stuff we can topic related we can cover here also. Okay. I think as Meryl says, let's cover it at the end of session. So we specifically have Q&A session. We'll go through all of them. So please put in all your questions there. We'll go one by one. Yeah, I think that's it from my side. Harsh can cover the next set of features. Okay, thank you guys for listening. Harsh, over to you.
Thank you, Rohan. So I'll quickly present my screen and we will now go through the feature which we call as the library. Okay. So right now we were discussing when Rohan shared about, you can upload your own papers and you can ask questions to the Copilot with your own papers. So all these papers which you're uploading, they all go to your library. So over here, you can see on SciSpace, after you log in, you will see something called as library. You can access it from here, or you can also access it from here, top right. Okay. On your library, you will see all your files. So you can, if you want to just see your files, you can switch to the file mode. You will see each and every file over here. If you want to see your folders, you can see your folders. Folders are nothing but collection of your files. So for example, if you're doing your research on a certain topic, you will create a folder which says, let's say, climate change, and all the files related to climate change I will have inside this particular folder. So this way I can organize all my files in one place. Now with the folder view, you can, what you can do interestingly is you can select a folder from here and you can click on Ask Copilot. Now this will allow you to ask questions to the Copilot only for this certain folder. So this way you can clearly make sure that all the questions you're asking will be answered from this particular folder only. Now let's switch to the file mode. We will come back to the folder mode soon. So in the file mode, you can see we have different columns. So the first column says TLDR. The second column says conclusion. So all these columns over here, which you see, are the columns which we have added. These columns do not exist by default. Okay, so you can see a button over here which says add column. This is how you can use the library to extract data. So in the question and answer, one of the students has asked, how can we get a particular section from various papers? So this is how you can do it. So you upload all the papers here, and let's say you want to see results of all the papers in one place. You click on results and you click on apply, and you will see results of each and every paper in just one single place. So this helps you to get a quick glance without going into each and every paper. Imagine you have to research through 50 papers and you have found these 50 papers, you have added them to your library, but now you don't know what to, which paper to read first. So what you can do is you can use these columns to get different data points and then dive deep into each and every, file later on. So this is one of the most powerful tool which we have. The second and the most powerful tool which we have is the search over here. So for example, now I have several files in my library, and I just want to, ask a single question, a research question that I have in my mind. So let's say I will ask it about, what are the effects of climate change on biodiversity? So when I ask this question, you can see when I'm asking this question, it is also suggesting me some files over here. So these are the files which can answer my question. So I can, if I want, I can click on the file and see the file. Or what I can do is I can click on get insights for this question. Okay. So when I click on this, you will see that similar to how literature review was working on the SciSpace papers, literature review can also work on your library. So here you will see that we have generated an insight using the top 3 papers for you. Okay, this insight summarizes this particular question for you from these 3 papers only. You can also see the papers. You can see the columns for these papers. If you want, you can add custom columns like in literature review. So what you can do is you can add this column called data found. So you can see over here, there are some suggested columns and there are some columns which we have added. As a user, you can add more and more columns. Okay. So from here, you can quickly, ask a question to your own papers and get literature review for your own papers. Okay. So this was how you could ask a question over here. Now, similar to literature review, you can provide feedback. You can ask a follow-up question to this particular search results. You can additionally also, what you can do is you can ask a question to this particular paper. So instead of going deep inside this paper, if you just want to quickly get an answer, you can click here and you can get an answer. Okay, so this way Copilot will only answer for this particular paper. As you can see in the bottom, Copilot is clearly mentioning that, this paper will be used to answer your question. So this is one great approach which can help you to ask different questions to different papers in a single Copilot thread. So all your messages are in one place. You don't have to, collate in a different document to analyze. You can analyze everything from here in one place. Okay. Now, similar to our literature review, we have the language option here as well, which helps you to get your answer in a different language. So this will also help you to be able to access information very easily. Okay, so you can see the insight, the data, everything has been converted into a different language now. Okay, so this is how you can use a language feature to quickly understand the search results. Now we have covered search, we have covered the adding the columns part. Next major feature which we have in our library is a powerful uploading feature. Okay, so Rohan shared how to upload a single file, but what if you want to upload multiple files? So we will go into that. So one feature which we have is importing from Zotero. For example, you click on Zotero, and what will happen is you have all your Zotero collections will be available over here. Okay, and what I need to do is I just need to select the Zotero collection and I have to click on import. That's it. Just 2 buttons and all your files will be imported from Zotero. So this is a very simple way to upload huge amount of files. If you don't have a Zotero collection, if you're storing all your files on your device, what you can do is simply click on upload PDF from here. You click on upload PDF and you can, let's say I have all these papers which I need to upload. I can select all these 10 documents at once. I will click on open. It will ask me to, select a particular folder where I want to, upload these files. So I have these 10 papers. I want to upload them to dark matter. I can select that and I can simply, from here, I can click on upload 10 files. So this is one approach. Second is if let's say you don't want to select any folder from here, you want to create a new folder. So I will create new research in dark matter, and I can create this new folder over here itself, and I can click on upload 10 files. So this will upload all the 10 files to this new folder which is created. So this is how we are allowing users to add more and more files to their platform. Once all these files are in your library, you can ask more questions to it. You can go deep into extraction of information, and you can keep understanding more and more about your own papers. So SciSpace Corpus, as you can see, literature review, we have more than 280 million papers today, but there would be some papers which you yourself are writing. So in one of the questions, a student has asked if we can use SciSpace to analyze our own papers. Yes, you can do that. What you can simply do is you can upload a PDF from here. Okay. Once you have uploaded a PDF, you can use the Copilot. Okay, so let's imagine that this is your own PDF. Now you can use Copilot and ask it to evaluate what you have written. Okay, this way you will be able to quickly, get a review of your own paper. So this is majorly, everything about library. Again, small recap, 3 major features we have. One is searching and asking any research question. Second is, you can extract data directly outside without going inside the files. And third is, you can upload and import a lot of files to the platform. Okay. And along with all of this, you always have our Copilot with you for answering any questions you have. So this was all about the library. Now, after library, we have one more important feature, which makes all of these things which we have been discussing so far accessible anywhere. Okay. So for example, you are right now researching on Google Scholar and you have a few questions. So what you can simply do is, I will just give you a short demo of this. So we have something called as Chrome plugin. So all you need to do is go to this Chrome plugin. You can search for extension and search for SciSpace. You will see this particular Chrome plugin on the Chrome Web Store. Okay. Once you install the Chrome plugin, it will be available with you on all the websites. Okay. Now let's check how it works. So for example, I am researching a particular paper or any website. Okay, so this is just a website which I was reading about. Now over here, you can see that SciSpace Chrome plugin is present with you. So what you can do is you can quickly click on this and you can ask a question like, what is the purpose of this web page? So not just, research papers which are present on our platform or research papers which you are uploading, you can also ask questions to any web page which is there on, on the internet. Just go to the website, click on the Chrome plugin, and you will get an answer. Next is, imagine you are on Google Scholar. Okay. So I'm on Google Scholar. I have searched this topic on Google Scholar. Google Scholar has shared several papers over here. Okay. I can check those papers. Now, there are two interesting things which we have integrated here. So one is obviously you have this Chrome plugin present with you on the right. You can click here. But since Google Scholar is already providing you with papers, you can quickly access chat with paper as a feature from here. So you can see I can click on this chat with paper and it will open the paper for me, and the Copilot will also be open for me. Okay. So this way I can quickly initiate chat with any paper you find on Google Scholar. This makes it very easy for you to access our Copilot anywhere on the web. Okay. This feature is also available on PubMed. So you ask a question on PubMed, you will see several papers here, and then you can, quickly access, chat with paper over here. Another interesting feature which Chrome plugin provides is comparing insights. So we have seen how literature review works. Okay. So using the power of literature review, what we can do is for all the papers we have here, we can compare the insights. So I will click over here and you will see the same question has reached the literature review, and you will see several papers over here. So this was another quick way for you to quickly, start your literature review using the Chrome plugin. So one by one, you can, go to any web page, any website on the internet and start asking questions using the Chrome plugin. The Chrome plugin also provides you to conduct your literature review. For example, asking a question on Copilot is first feature, but you also want to ask, in general, a literature review question. So you can do that as well. So it will work similarly. You ask, you ask a question over here and you click on the search button and it will take you to the literature review platform and show you the insights. Okay, so this way Chrome plugin provides you with all the features which we have on SciSpace, but you can access it on all the other web pages. You can also switch the languages like we have discussed. We have another settings button which can allow you to change language from here. You can also enable or disable the quick action button. So for example, you can see the action button is present over here. But if you want to disable that, you can disable that. Okay, you can quickly visit your library as well. So any papers which you are saving, you can, go back to the library and see those papers from you. Okay, so this is a settings button which allows you to modify the settings for Chrome plugin. So these are all the features for Chrome plugin. Next up, we have a feature called as Paraphraser, which I'll allow Rohan to take over for.
Sure. Thanks, Harsh. So yeah, let me share my screen. Yeah, I hope you guys have like the tool so far. We are trying to provide more and more options in the tool, as in more features, which means you can use it for different purposes, and any feedback is always valuable. Some of the features are like the library is quite recently launched, even literature review is recently launched. So we are working on improving those. There are new updates coming to it. So like Harsh mentioned, let's move to Paraphraser tool. Right. So Paraphraser is basically, yeah. So paraphraser is more like when when I write a research paper, I write some, let's say, in my own words, and then I realize, okay, it's not great quality what I've written. I want it to be, look more formal, look more academic, or I want it to be, I want to expand on this, something like that. So paraphraser, you can, obviously come from here. You see, you have options for various tones. So we provide our own set of 15, 20 tones, academic, fluent, formal, creative, and stuff. You can also write any tone. Let's say, so for research purposes, we have seen mostly people use academic, formal, assertive, sometimes, uh, you know, uh, professional tones. But there are other use cases for which you can use it. Basically, you can use it for non-research purposes also. One common thing we have seen researchers do is they pick an answer from Copilot and then they paraphrase it to be included in their own report. So that is also something we have seen people commonly do. You have options to of length. That means you can shorten the text, you can expand the text, you can keep it same length and paraphrase, uh, trying to cover up all the use cases. You have variations. So variations less as mean you want some only very little changes in the text while paraphrasing. Medium means you want decent amount, and more means you want the AI to completely rewrite the text. So we have three options here. So we can take some sample text. Which I have picked up an abstract from one of the papers that you were seeing, right? The Jarvis question answering for literature review. So now this is an existing paper abstract. Let's see. Okay. So we have a 150 word limit and unless you sign up. So let's do that so that we can explore the feature in full. Yeah. So now I have a limit of 500 words, which is usually a lot for most of the sections that we write in research. So now this is an abstract I picked up from one of the papers. Now, assuming this is a paragraph from my paper, and I want to, make it more formal, and I want to keep it, let's say to start with, I want to keep it same length. And we'll get an answer. So answering questions, we can answering inquiries, sorry. So if you see this line also has changed completely. So almost every line has been rewritten here. So that's the beauty. Now imagine I want to expand on this, right? This is basically 157 words. The output is also similar size. I want to expand the output. Uh, you have a bigger output now, right? You have a 220 word output where you have more lines and bigger lines and all those things. So you can sometimes you want to write thesis, you want to write in detail in elaborate ways. So that's something you can use it. Now let's say I want to change the tone. Let's say I want to write it in let's say in a funny way. I don't know how to write it. Let's pick up a different sentence maybe. Let's only pick one line and let's try to write it in a comical way or sound like a comedy. So, okay, I've selected expand. So let's see. But yeah, if you look at, because I selected expand, it expanded on it. But if you look at the language, it's more like, yes, you heard it right, my friends. Jarvis has managed to surpass all expectations and all those things, right? So on same length, now I can maybe be more creative. Now, yeah, if you look at it undergoes meticulous evaluation on two sets of data, which is very creative. It remarkably demonstrates. So even in sometimes when we write research papers, we have to, in certain sections, we want to be more persuasive. Like in results, we want usually to be more persuasive, to be more convincing. Sometimes we want, to be more formal, depending on that. Now, for each sentence here, you have an option to rephrase. So let's say you wrote the overall text in creative, but this let's first expand on this maybe. So you get multiple sentences in output. Yeah, now we have a big output, right? So now overall output is creative, but let's say I want to get this sentence into an academic tone or a formal tone. So I can get update only one sentence also. So that's so so this is more creative sentence. I want a more simpler sentence. So I replace that one sentence. So you can do that to any sentence. You can copy one sentence. You can copy the entire text. You have option to even do AI check to sometimes we try to generate human-like outputs. Some outputs look more AI, so you can do an AI check, which tells you some of these are more AI like, those only you can human change, so you can have an option to humanize this options. uh, Now you can replace that one text. So these are the options. Now interestingly, you have option to get it in again all the languages. So let's check it Indonesian for this purpose, and we have to just rephrase. Right now you have the entire answer in Indonesian. uh, So this is also a good tool to help you convert something that you don't understand in another language. So paraphrase that in your own language. Even the input can also be Indonesian. That's also all right. Let's say now I put this as my input, and now I say let's say shorten it for change in academic tone. Right. So my input is Indonesian. My output is Indonesian. So it's a from 65 words it has got it to 50 words. You can keep on doing it. Try. So paraphrase every time, you might get a different output. And you can sometimes if your input is just Indonesian, you can just select same as input language, so then also it will keep it Indonesian. You have an option to see my outputs, right? So this will basically give you the saved output. So that's why logging in is very valuable, so that it saves your outputs. You can delete any of the saved results, or you can come back and continue from there. You can obviously write a feedback also to us on what you liked, what feature you liked. You can upload any screenshots of something not working, so we can take quick action on that. Uh, Right. So yeah, this is a paraphraser tool. This usually, so the usual research workflow that we see is usually you want to start with a literature review, basically discover new features, new papers, sorry, discoverability. Then the second part is, reading the discovered literature. That's the reading papers. And the third part eventually is, writing the research paper once you've done your own research paper. So there's some middle part is experiments that usually people perform on their in their labs and all those things, and then they eventually write a research paper, right? So the for discoverability we have the literature review tool. For reading the research paper we have Copilot, and for writing, paraphraser is the current initial tool. Will mostly have a lot more uh, tools coming up. So our aim as SciSpace means science workspace, or a workspace for doing scientific work, is how we want to eventually is the goal we want to reach. And basically the aim is to help research move faster. How can you make research move faster so that new discoveries happen faster, right? So another tool that is very popular out there is citation generator. So many times okay, let me clear this up. Yeah. So many times you write research and you want to cite papers, right? So you don't know how to cite exactly in different formats. So we provide a citation generator tool where you be it a web page, a journal article, a book chapter, a conference, patent report, thesis, anything. So sometimes, let's say I have a blog. Let's pick up a blog from medium.com, something like this, machine learning in production. I put an URL. Yeah, so it's saying it's able to find it, selected, and I say generate citation. Now it's generating citation in different formats. So Here I can directly copy it. I can download the BibTeX format citation. So you have around 2000 citation styles. So it could be, so these are the most popular ones: APA, MLA, Vancouver, Elsevier. These are the most common ones, but you can have any specific conference style. You can just search their name. So let's say I search medical. Yeah, so I got a lot of medical citations, right? All the American Medical Association citations for every edition. So we have, like I mentioned, 2,500 plus citation styles that in which you can write. Let's just select, let's say, Vancouver. Right now, this is a different citation. You can copy it, use it in your research paper or your thesis and stuff. So it's extracting all this information from the website. Now, let's say if I want to cite a conference proceeding. So what you can do is you can paste the data yourself, like title and all. But the easier approach is most of the papers are available in our database. So let's pick up the famous paper. Attention is all you need. Right? This has 52K citation. So I want to use this paper. So now it has already filled this data. And if you generate, yeah, so you have Vancouver style, you have APA, anything, let's say. You can, so the interesting part is, with the generative models, I sometimes don't want to fill this. Let's say this is a paper I want to cite. Now I don't want to keep filling all the details. What I can just do is I just copy, paste whatever I can find. And then just replace it here, right? And ask it to extract data. So here when it will start generating the citation. So basically now it has converted your random raw data into a format that is suitable for citation, right? So we just basically pasted whatever we could find. Now if you want, you can, you can update. Let's say it has picked up the main title as the conference so conference proceeding title, that's right. So let's say publisher name it could not find, so it could be archive. uh, Publisher place is not needed, volume. So you can basically update some of the information. It has also picked up the DOI, right? It has picked up the date of publication from here. If you see the submission date, uh, right? So yeah, 12 September 23, it has picked up the source, which is archive. You can update any information, you can regenerate it. So this is the citation generator tool. I think we have pretty much covered most of the tools that we have here. Yeah, so again, you have an option of to see, your saved citations. So like the two try citations that are tried currently, it gets saved. You can obviously delete and stuff. So that's the whole point of logging in. So you have everything saved. You have literature review saved. You have your paper saved. You have all the question answers that you've done. These are saved. Anything that you use on Chrome plugin. So Chrome plugin can be accessed from here. That is saved. So if you once you log in, you can save everything. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it from my side. Harsh can take over on the next part.
Yes, thank you, Rohan. So next, what we want to discuss is, our future plans. So we have shared all the features, which have we already have on our platform today. But what are we going to, come up with next? So next is something which we are doing is allowing researchers to ask questions to figures and tables. So as you saw, we have a feature which allows you to ask questions to mathematical equations, but there are more complex figures and tables which are present in the research papers. So now we are empowering Copilot with this feature as well. Second is automating research tasks. So from literature review to any other research task which you have, which has multiple steps in it, we are building a tool which will help you automate the entire flow. So all you need to do is create a flow first and then initiate the task anytime you want. Third is we are adding more and more writing tools. So we have seen paraphraser, we have seen citation generator, but we are creating our own notebook platform, which will allow you to create, write more and more stuff in a single place. And finally, we are also empowering authors for increasing their reach. So all these features are in our roadmap. We would also love to hear from you. So what would be features which you would love to have on our platform? Our goal at SciSpace is to provide researchers a platform which can, first of all, increase their productivity and also increase their outreach. So any feature or any idea which you have in your mind, please share with us. So these are all our future plans. We are now open for questions. So
we can start with the questions on the chat, I think, and then
yes.
anyone can maybe.
Actually, Mr. Harsh, we already compiled the question for you. We will share it for you. Is it okay?
Yes, perfect.
Yes. Continue aja, Pak. Yes, gitu. Share. Kan this will stop others kan? Yes aja, Pak. Okay. So for the first question, we can see that when I conduct literary review, sometimes I need, I think Mr. Rohan already answered this question, right?
Yeah, we can do that. I think currently there might be a limit of 150 characters. So currently to bypass the limit, you can maybe shorten the question a bit, if possible. But yeah, we can certainly increase the limit to 200. The whole reason is many times people copy paste a paragraph in the literature review search box, but that's not what the tool is built for. It's built for answering research questions and doing literature review. So when someone copy paste a paragraph, it won't perform well. So that's why we had put a limit. But we can certainly have 200 characters as well.
Okay, thank you. So maybe Mr. Afif, you already know the answer, right? So the next question will be from Betty, University of Malang. Can the PDF facility be used to review draft articles so that we can receive feedback for article improvement, like when using Humata or example? How about this one, Mr. Rohan or Mr. Hars?
Yeah, I think so. In the library, you can upload any PDF. It need not even be a research paper format like 2-column or single column. It can just be any PDF article, any PDF in any format, basically. And once you update, yeah, so the questions regarding how you can receive feedback for article improvement. We don't directly have a feature for that, but what I would suggest is, you can ask the AI to go section by section. Let's say you select a section and then you ask it to, how can I rewrite this section, right? And then AI can give you suggestions. The other thing is you can certainly use the paraphraser to copy paste one section in the paragraph and then update it. But I think the more question is more regarding feedback for article improvement. And I think you have to go section by section, ask the Copilot to how you can improve writing on this section.
Okay,
but I agree, this is a good feature. Harsh can, since he's the product manager, can take note of this, where we want automatic feed review of articles.
Okay, thank you. So for the next question will be, so it is, I think it's similar, right? So this, is it can be used to review drafts to my article so I can improve the quality of my article?
Yeah, it's the exact same question.
Yes. So the next question will be, Mr. Diki, can it be demonstrated if researchers want to know the latest topic from vertical journal, for example, Journal for Business Research? Is it possible? Actually, I have my own question regarding this topic. So how far we can expect to the variety of literature and the recent literature review, and what the limitation and how wide the source is. Is it only from the open access journal
Oh,
or
I,
others?
I did not understand the first part of your question. Can you repeat that again?
So what is the source of your uh, research paper?
Okay.
How many search do you have? If we only search the topic, how many search do you have? And is it only the open access journal that can uh, be used in the SciSpace, or
Okay.
we can see others source as well?
Okay, understood. Okay, good question. So, first, let me answer this question on the screen. So, I think I
Okay.
partially answered it. So, currently in the filters, we don't have a journal name-based filter. That is something we'll add soon as well. Like I mentioned for the WOS and Scopus journal, so we'll also uh, add a journal based filtering soon, journal and conference based. So you can go to one journal papers and then search within only that journal. So that's a valuable thing. Answering your question, Faridus, so currently our corpus is around 220 million research papers. So we cover research papers. So there are three main sources. So there is one called MAG, which is Microsoft Academic Graph, which was an older source. Recently, there are two more sources that we have added because MAG deprecated. So we have Semantic Scholar as a source. So we get all the latest papers from there. And there is OpenLX. That's another source of research papers. So we try to get research papers from all the available sources. Now, this OpenLX, Semantic Scholar, MAG, these are more aggregator sources. So they aggregate from all the journals, all the conferences, and all publishing platforms across the world. So we use that to answer the open access related question. So we do have all papers, be it open access or whether they are behind the paywalls. The only difference is if it's a, let's say, Elsevier journal, which is not open access, we won't have the PDF on our platform.
Okay.
Right. So we'll have the title, abstract, authors, the references, the related papers, all those things. We just won't have the PDF. So you will still be able to get that paper in literature review. But if you want to really use Copilot, then you'll have to download that paper and upload it in the library yourself. Because by law, we are not allowed to host open paid papers because that would be infringement of law. So you can certainly, if you have access to download, you can use it in library and run Copilot on it. But it will come up in literature review for search results, but the Copilot won't be active on that.
So I can make sure that my library only me that can see. Others can see my library, right?
Yeah, library is private. So whatever you upload in a library doesn't become open access. It's only for you. There's no sharing there.
Thank you so much. For the next question, this is from Afif Fulaisha. Would you auto filter by Scopus or maybe the next time, yeah?
Yeah.
The SciSpace already have the future, maybe for future plan. And how about the download CSV button in a library, like maybe in Scopus or Sign Direct, maybe? Yeah.
So yeah, so we will soon have a filter where you can only filter by top journals. So all the top journals are the ones that are indexed by Scopus and WOS. In fact, the filter will ensure that even from Scopus and WOS, you only get answers, or rather, you get search results only from the top journals. That means they have top ranking in Scopus and WS. So that filter will come soon. Same applies for conferences. You will get results only from the A star and A conferences using that filter. Right. So currently, yeah, download CSV we currently have in the main literature review, but we don't have in library. So Harsh can take note of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, the top journal papers, we might not have the PDF, like I mentioned. So you'll have to upload, I mean, once it comes in search result, you'll have to download the PDF and upload it into library because we can't access it from outside. Does this answer your question as well, Faridus?
I think yes. Thank you. So for the next question, how can we maximize for scooping literature review?
What do we mean by scooping here? Like
Maybe
an
the inquiry needs to be specific, right? To make it more relevant. Is it what Mr. Aan or Miss Aan from UIN?
Yeah. Can you maybe reply on chat with what do you mean by scooping
Mr.
here?
Aan, are you there? Or Miss Aan, do you want to share your opinion?
Yes,
You can open your mic so we know you can try to elaborate more about the question. Or maybe we can save for later, Mr. An, if you are already ready, you can raise your hand. So for the next question, Mr. Afif Ruliansyah asks again, how the type question that the answer for many section of multiple articles? Result, discussion, and conclusion.
So
Maybe
so I can answer this question. If you want to get an answer from multiple papers, what you can do is you can upload all those files in your library in a folder, and all the sections which you need an answer for, like result, discussion, conclusion, all these sections you can add as columns. So for each paper, you will receive the information in just one space. So library is the answer for this question.
okay, thank you. Maybe Mr. Afif can try to use a library and then try to add columns, right? For result, discussion, and conclusion section.
Yes.
Yes, for the next question from Mr. Jaka Purwanto, do we need to download the paper from database to put inside SciSpace library?
Yeah, Harsh.
Yes, you can upload any paper, and like Rohan shared earlier, it does not even have to be a paper. We today accept any kind of scientific material, written material. It just has to be a PDF file. So you can just come onto the platform, go to the library, click on upload, and upload any PDF file which you want to. So you don't have to download from the SciSpace database.
So just to add on that, if you find the paper with PDF on SciSpace database, then you can directly use Copilot there. You can still use the bookmark feature that will add it to your library. And only for paid journals, you'll have to download and add it to library because we won't have the PDF for that. And the other way is to use Zotero to import library, which Harsh has discussed.
Okay, thank you. From Mutia, can SciSpace access the paid journal? I think it's already answered before. And then the next question, are there limitations to save data from Zotero in my library? How is connection between all paper collection to categorization the same data? For example, to input in one paragraph import LR. Is it possible?
So there are multiple parts to this question. I can answer the first one. So today we don't have any limitations on saving data from Zotero. On Zotero, the files need to be in PDF format. And if you create a collection over there, it will be easier for you to import. So all the files should be in a collection. And when you're using the import function, you need to select the collection. So that is how the connection works for SciSpace and Zotero. The second part I'm unclear about, how to connection between all paper collection to categorization the same indicate. Can someone explain this question?
Mrs. Anissa, is it answer your question? Can you please elaborate more about the next question? Maybe Mrs. Anissa, are you there? Or maybe we can save it for a later also. How many do we store in my library? Is it the limitation in the library in SciSpace?
No, today we don't have any limitations. You can upload hundreds of files to the library.
Okay, thank you. For the next question. How about the books? Is there any limitation for size upload?
So for file upload, I guess we have a 100 MB limit for files. And if you need to upload any larger file, you can reach out to us. We can find a way, but most of the files are below 100 MB. So that is how, we define the limit.
Yeah, and just to add, like the question answering, the Copilot will work on any number of pages to help you find the answer. As long as the size is less than 100 MB, even if it's a 1000-page book, we should be able to get good quality outputs. I think the second part is the SciSpace Zotero integration. Can you just elaborate
Yes.
on that?
So the second part is when you click on Zotero on your library, it will ask you to log into Zotero. So the moment you log into Zotero, it will be very simple from there. It will ask you to select a collection from your Zotero so that you can import files from Zotero to SciSpace. Today, the way the integration works is only for importing files from Zotero to our library. This is the integration which we have. So step one is login into Zotero from the SciSpace library. And step two is selecting a collection to upload the files. So there are 2 steps to import files.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, there's all the question from the audience. And we have Mr. Dicky. Actually, I also curious about. We see that there is a premium option in the SciSpace. Is all the feature that you already explained is in the free, or there is some of them is need to be a premium member? We all want to know about that.
So
yes, sir.
Harsh can answer.
Yes, so we have ever increasing, number of users on our platform, and if you might have seen SciSpace from the past, from the last entire year, all the services, all the features, we have it for free. Even today, if you go to the platform, all these amazing tools, you can use it for free. To support and keep running these services, without any blockages, we will be starting a premium plan where, our power users who need these features very frequently on daily basis, where they want to ask hundreds of questions in a single day, we will be launching a premium plan for those users. SciSpace will still be available for free for all the other users. You will just not be able to ask too many questions in a very short duration of time. So
okay, thank you so much. I think we all know now. Actually, that's all the question from the audience. We all very thank you. We have so many insightful presentation. We have insightful also knowledge, and there is so many impressive features that I already try myself, and I also have Copilot in my laptop. I think now we are going to the before we wrap up, I extend once again the heartfelt gratitude for our speakers, Mr. Harsh Fitra, Mr. Rohan, and also Ms. Madel Sabat, for I think it's very thoughtful, provocative presentation. I know you already expertise and passionate in this field, and for the maybe the conclusion, we all actually want to know what's the experience in developing utilizing these AI tools that we already use so much and becoming one of the cutting edge feature in this era for recently. Can you explain how the experience in developing these AI tools? Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, I can maybe take that. So obviously with Chat GPT, things are getting even more popular. So earlier AI tools were being used by only select few people. Now everyone from all domains are using AI tools. Uh, it's at least as a AI researcher, it's too much information. It's too fast research going on to be able to keep track of. So one thing we find is every day, let's say there are new models that are being released. Let's say recently there are some vision models. Earlier there were a lot of text-based models being released. Now the focus is on research, vision. So as NLP team, it's difficult to track. So we try to make sense out of what is valuable for us. Remove the noise. So that's, I think, something everyone has to do eventually when they see too much information. Try to remove the noise and find out what's valuable for you, because everyone will want their model to be used. So we try to, okay, this is not valuable for us. Okay, this is valuable for us. That's what one thing we do. And then as part of SciSpace, we want to see if this provided us value, how can we give this to others? And how can we, let's say Chat GPT is just one text chat box where you can ask questions. But Copilot is way more feature rich. So we realize, okay, Chat GPT has some value. But then how can we build a model that provides even more value for researchers? So we built Copilot, which is not just Q&A, and not from its own knowledge. It's actually from scientific sources with explanations and related papers and whatnot, all the features. So yeah, so let's say now we have a lot of vision models coming up. So we are looking at that to build question answering on figures and tables to give more value. So it's very overwhelming currently for everyone. Everyone also gets worried, okay, if the AI model is going to do everything, what should I do? Right? That is a common worry everyone has. AI will take all the jobs and all those things. So my personal conclusion is certainly there will be some jobs that are automated by AI, but as humans, we are known to uh, further skill up ourselves, as in scale up ourselves. Like let's say first time when computer came into existence, or even calculator when first time it came, everyone was worried that it will take all the bankers' jobs. But now look at how banks have progressed further to offer more complex products. So as humans, our job is creativity. Our job is using AI for our benefit and ensuring we do much better than what we did before, right? Let's say as researchers, if we were able to write one research paper, now with help of AI, we should be able to write 5 research papers a year. Or be it, yeah. So our job is, to, as in any domain, be it research or anything, let's use AI. If you feel that, okay, now what you did before was done by AI, try to do something better. And I think there is everything out there AI can't do. So creativity is something AI still doesn't have to that extent, which a human has.
I agree.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Rohan. Is there maybe Ms. Madelsa or Mr. Hars Fitra will want to add more about your experience?
So you asked about our experience while developing these products. Just want to add one small thing to that.
Sure.
We've been really grateful to our users who have been providing us with input to, understand what they need actually. So I would extend that, to the audience over here. If you have any ideas or any problems you feel while researching, you feel that, okay, this particular task in my research is taking a lot of my time, or it is very confusing for me to this particular thing, or it is very overwhelming. Like I have to use 5 different tools just to do one thing. Reach out to us. You can, we'll share our email IDs. You feel free to reach out to us. We will schedule a call. You can share all your ideas. And today, if you see any feature on a platform, they have been built because of the ideas of, users like you. So, when we will have a call next year with all of you, all the ideas you share today, we will implement by the next year. So that is how we want to approach developing this platform.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe Ms. Madelsa, do you have something to share with us also?
I think Harsh and Rohan pretty much covered it with their words, to be honest.
Thank you. Yeah.
So this platform is for you guys, and we would appreciate your feedbacks and all the options you have that could enhance this platform more and make it the one go-to place for you guys. That's what we want to do. Yeah,
I
that's it.
think
Thank you so much.
Dominic
Yes,
was
Mr.
raising
Rohan?
his hand. I think Dominic is one of the participants who was raising his hand. Does he have a question?
Sure. Do you have the question? Mr. Domitus? Hello, Mr. Domitus? Maybe no.
Okay.
Can we have the link? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, that's all. Thank you once again. Thank you so much for our speakers, Mr. Rohan, Mr. Harsh Fitra, and also Ms. Madelsa. Now we also have give big thanks to our engaged audience, our participants, also our Dean, Prof. Swanto, and Mrs. Atik. Thank you so much to all participants. Now, without further ado, I will like to remind you to fill out the participant list in Google form. And also now I will hand over to Miss Liz, our host and organizer, to deliver a closing remarks. Mrs. Liz, let's take it the stage. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Saida, and thank you so much from the SciSpace team, Mr. Rohan Tondulkar, Mr. Harsh Fitra, and Ms. Madel Sabat. Paying attention to the detailed explanation gives me a flashback of this early session when Mr. Rohan had already shared about SciSpace Copilot, but hearing what you have shared today, SciSpace has developed a lot. And you have developed literature review feature, and then you have Zotero integration, paraphraser with tones, and then citation generator are the tools that amazes me because you just develop it within less than a year, I guess. And you have improved a lot. And I am sure that all of the participants here gain a lot of insights from your presentation. I hope that you will get feedback from the participants as well, so you can develop your tools, your apps further. So we wish you a lot of success in the coming years. We are all looking forward for your next moves. Many of your plans, we hopefully this can be realized and we can experience those new features. And thank you so much, Mr. Rohan, Mr. Harsh, and Ms. Madelsa.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, and please allow me to remind the participants again that the attendance form can be filled out, and the link has been shared through the chat, and please check the link and fill out the form. I guess that is the end of our session today. Once again, thank you so much for everyone from SciSpace, Miss Saida, and then Pak Supri for organizing this event. Thank you so much and see you on our next agenda.
Awesome. Thanks, Saida. Thanks, Liz, for being such an...
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Nadelsa.
Yeah, everyone.
Okay. See you guys next time.
Sure.
See you.
See you.
So happy to see you.
Same. Okay. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. Bye all.
Record sudah ditutup.
Nunggu live ya, Supri.
Ya, udah di close ya record.
Belum record. Masih. Oh iya. Stop ya.
Ya.